What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today when I talked about Faraday Future, tickers FFIE. It's been a while since I've given an update, so I want to go over some of the data points, what shorts are doing, and everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that, let's get right to it. So currently it is down 4.09% to the low of $1.03, so very close to the 52-week and all-time low. As far as volume, a fair share, so 1.05 million shares being traded. 4.1 is the average, and the market's been open roughly around an hour. At the time of doing this video, no recent news, the last being on the 9th when they finally do kind of unveil who this music icon is, because on October the 5th, they did say that there's going to be a music icon, which is going to be the newest developer co-creation officer, which they didn't really allude to, and it looks like they did push it back up until it looks like October the 9th, and needless to say, it is Chris Brown. So some people like it, some people don't, from what I can see on some posts, but regardless, I think this is a fairly good thing. But no matter what, this is something I did signal last video, which once again has been a while, is just that Faraday needs to stop with a lot of these fluff PRs. This in reality does not drive a single person to go buy Faraday Future. Well, maybe one or two Chris Brown fans in reality, but technically I feel like this is just fluff, and this is something that they need to stop doing. I actually did reach out to Faraday in an attempt to get an interview, and they just straight out denied. So once again, I think Faraday just is their own worst enemy as of right now. And like I've signaled over the last couple of videos as well, just things might get substantially worse, because it's been, I think, almost 10 consecutive days with the market cap below 35 million. And that is a whole different ball game, because Faraday did a 1-for-80 reverse stock split to kind of rectify the $1 bid price deficiency with the NASDAQ. So since then, they are now in good standing with the NASDAQ, but still, though, that could be something coming down the pipeline, and especially with it now at $1.06, if it does break below that $1 mark for 30 consecutive days once again, then they'll be unfortunately deficient on that $1 benchmark once again. So two negatives might be coming down the pipeline fairly soon for Faraday. Just we have to wait and find out how their earnings will be, which they haven't disclosed or kind of said when that will be, unfortunately. But based on some analyst expectations, it's not that good. So far there's one analyst that have given a estimate, and the consensus for the earnings per share is a negative $3.20. So that is very, very poor. So let me know your thoughts. One thing I just wanted to share with you, the latest Morningstar report does show the fair market value based on Faraday's assets being $2.73. Just the difference is why it's at $1.06. It's just they're burning through a ton of cash, and that's what people are factoring in. On a side note, if you are looking for a lot of good compiled information, such as analyst forecasts, ratings, Morningstar reports, everything under the sun, take a look at Interactive Brokers. It is completely free to have all of this information. Just click on the link in the description below and also the comments, and yeah, play around. But other than that, though, let's go over some of the data points. I wish that there was more operational updates to really talk on, but there's not. But going over some options, right now there's around 4,000 in calls being purchased versus 16,000 in puts. So based on this information, people are anticipating for it to trend down, and that's been the case for a while now. Even looking over the last 7 days, around $54,000 in calls being purchased versus 191,000 in puts. So this has been the writing on the wall for a while now. It did have a little quick pop with the broader EV sector, going from basically $1.12 to $1.20, but that was kind of short-lived. And as far as this, though, looking at calls with the open interest for this upcoming Friday, it does look like there's going to be around 80,000, assuming it closes over $1 today, that there's going to be 80 in open interest that does expire in the money. But for instance, October the 20th, there is oddly around 989 at the $2 strike price. So maybe some optimism for next week. Let me know your thoughts if you are playing options and potentially what strike price you are doing and whatnot. But as far as big money getting in, it's been very, very silent. So the last transaction over $100,000 that did occur was September the 27th. So it's been a while. Same goes for dark pool, and dark pool is very much linked to shorting. Shorting has been ingrained in Faraday, just clearly big money is not getting into Faraday as much as they once did. And that is one thing on a side note when it comes down to shorting that I really said that they needed to do dramatically was launch that lawsuit against malicious activity, as what they did state on their last official update or business update. So hopefully that does come down the pipeline. That might actually help Faraday probably better than a lot of that fluff PR. But as far as what shorts are doing, I'll give you an overview of all of that. So short score is currently 78. Utilization is 86.78. As far as what shorts are doing today, they are increasing 127.91 thousand shares. 38.71% of the free float is being shorted. You are hearing that right. 38%. That's crazy. 8.03 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is showing up a little bit higher, so 16.96. Based on the interactive brokers, short availability does indicate that there is no shares available to be shorted, and it is also on the threshold list, so that does indicate that there is a lot of failure to delivers. And actually I will pull this up. So this is Faraday. So as you can see right here, Faraday does have a pretty substantial amount of failure to delivers, so meaning a lot of naked shorting and stuff like that. So once again, in the past, Faraday has been on the threshold list, and that usually doesn't really amount to anything, but still with it at $1.06, I think the risk versus reward right now, a lot of investors don't really see it advantageous. So this is why you do see a lot of retail investors, a lot of big money not getting into Faraday as of right now. So let me know your thoughts on Faraday in the comments below. Do you think that things are going to start looking up finally for Faraday, or do you think that is going to be continuing to trend down? What's your kind of thoughts on all this? As far as just some technicals, you can kind of see right here on the level 2, there's a lot of support at the $1 range, different variations, different levels on that, but genuinely at this S1 right now, 96 cents, even though that is a new 52-week and all-time low, that is going to be the very, very strong support at that stage. And then $3.38. So the gap is very wide on this, so this is why potentially if there is some non-fluff news and some very substantial news for Faraday, then potentially the stock price could go up very fast, potentially, of course, because there's a lot of different factors at play, and shorts seem to be very much ingrained in Faraday. 38%, that's just crazy. I can't get over that. But let me know your thoughts on Faraday. Do you think that there's going to be a new 52-week and all-time low coming fairly soon, or do you think it's going to revert back to maybe the $3 range? What's your viewpoint? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And one final thing, take advantage of this promo that I've been sharing with you. It's been extended up until October the 20th. Just sign up for an account with Moomoo, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So take advantage of this while you can. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, I appreciate all of you watching, and let's eventually make a lot of money on Faraday.